Hey everyone, welcome back to Endless Money Pits. This is a 2017 Honda CB500X, and today I'll show you how to install a skid plate kit the owner found on eBay. This kit is supposed to fit bikes made from 2013 through 2019. It didn't come with any instructions, but I'll figure it out, so let's get to it. Here are the tools that I used for this job. Impact driver, breaker bar, torque wrench, socket wrench, 14mm socket, 12mm socket, 5mm hex, 6mm hex, 13mm wrench, and a magnetic bowl. For this job I also needed waterproof grease, medium strength thread locker, a towel to lay parts on, a rag, some cardboard to sit on, a rear stand, and the skid plate kit. There are links in the description for everything I used.
These welds. Those are not the best welds I've ever seen.
That's about as good as I could weld after I took a welding class in college for fun. Like I said, the kit didn't come with any instructions, but it looks like the arms fit on the front like this. And the two smaller pieces go here and here. I'll use the two longer screws to secure the arms to the front of the skid plate since there's more metal to go through, and I'll use the two shorter screws for the rear pieces. I put the bike on a stand to make it a little easier to work on. To start, this exhaust cover needs to come off. This exhaust mount bolt also needs to come out. Loosely attach the right rear mounting piece. I'll use the bolt I just removed to hang the skid plate while I get the rest of it connected. The left rear mounting piece will connect to the back end of the shift lever pivot. The kit came with a different bolt and collar to make that work, so the stock one has to come out. I coated the collar with some waterproof grease before installing it with the new bolt. Screw it in just far enough to hang the skid plate on the back end of it. Then screw it in a little further to install the washer and locking nut. You can move this hose out of the way if you need some extra room. I used a 13mm wrench to hold the nut while I finished driving in the bolt. The nut just needed a few more turns to get it tight, but it was pretty hard to reach. The new bolt is about 1mm from the engine case when fully installed. This could be a problem if the bike ever gets dropped directly on that pivot bolt. Shaving off a few threads with a Dremel or a grinder would give it more space to move, so I might go back and do that before we do any serious off-roading. Next, I'll install the left side arm. The upper connection for this arm is at this point where the frame bolts to the motor. I used a breaker bar because I didn't have access to any impact sockets, and I didn't want to break anything. Be careful not to drop the spacer when the bolt comes out. Install the left arm behind the radiator hose and in front of the smaller vent hose, and secure it using the original bolt and spacer.
I don't know. I think it's bent. It's not at the right angle.
Unfortunately, that bad weld threw off the geometry of the arm so much that it couldn't be installed.
The one from the left side doesn't really line up. I think it's got a bad weld. This top bracket is on crooked. I'm holding the bar straight, and the bracket is not straight. So I'm going to install the skid plate for now with just one arm. This one's not bent. Unfortunately, it's the one that has the nuts on it. And then I think we'll send away for a replacement left side arm.
We contacted the seller and eBay about the problem, but the seller was unwilling to send us this part separately and wanted us to ship the whole kit back to him for an exchange.
I'm going to install this skid plate with just one arm, like the drummer from Def Leppard.
This was near the end of my visit in California, so we didn't have time for all that and didn't want to pay to ship this hunk of steel back to the seller, so it's just going to be bolted on at 3 points for now. The owner of the bike is not really happy about this and says he might get a different skid plate someday, but I think this one should be okay for now the way it is. Make sure you put the left side bolt back in before you remove the right side bolt, or the engine will shift and you'll need a floor jack to get everything lined up again. So I've heard. Loosely install the right side arm with the factory bolt and spacer. Then use the remaining 2 screws to loosely secure the arm to the front of the skid plate. Once I got everything loosely fitted to the bike, I went back and added thread locker to the 4 small screws before I tightened everything down. Both of the bolts connecting the frame to the engine should be torqued to 33 foot-pounds. I have a lot more videos covering these Honda 500 series motorcycles, so check those out before you go. If you liked this video, make sure to subscribe for more of the best DIY videos on the internet. And until next time, just keep throwing money at it.